Okay, so good evening, everyone. TSC IST welcomes you all to a much awaited session on Generation Google Scholarship, a very prestigious scholarship for second year students pursuing computer science related degrees across Pan Asia. I, Shweta Burab, a pre final year student in the Department of Information Technology at IIST Shivpur, will be the host for this session. So, before further delay, I would like to welcome the speakers for this session, the Google Generation Scholars, Pornabrita Model, and Monalika Kapoor. They'll be giving us insights on their journey to receiving the scholarship, the nitty gritties on the application process and eligibility criteria, tips on how to curate your resume and make your application stand out, and pretty much all your questions and doubts regarding the scholarship and application process. So, welcome, Pornabrita and Monalika. Great to have you here.
Hi, thank you. Thank you very
Thank you
much
so
for
much for
having us
having
here.
us here.
Uh, how have you been?
It's been great.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm from Delhi, so here the pollution levels are too high. So yeah, we are again having an off for a week. So we are just enjoying the holidays since 2 years.
That's nice.
Actually, we too are enjoying holidays only.
Yeah, right. Waiting for the college to reopen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so before diving straight into the pool of cool Q&A series, let's hear from our speakers about them. So, Monalika, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a third year student at Maharaja Sureshmal Institute of Technology, pursuing BTech in IT. And if I talk about my achievements, I'm a Generation Google Scholar, APAC Region 2021, Nutanix Women in Technology Scholar, and GHC Scholar. Along with that, I'm also a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, and I've done a lot of community work in numerous communities like Girl Up SAS, Girls Group Foundation, IEEE, and other societies in my college. So I would say I am a web development and coding enthusiast, and I'm a people person. I just love being in communities. I love to interact, and that's one of the interaction is here with you all today. Loving to be here. That's all.
Pornabrita, would you like to go now?
Yes, waves.
So I am a junior year student at IIST Shipur, like CAC department, and unlike Monalika, I really haven't achieved much till now. Like only the Generation Google Scholarship, and I'll be at Microsoft next summer. So that's it. I guess I'm a web developer, I can say, and also a machine learning enthusiast. And apart from that, I love to contribute to open source projects and all. That's all.
I'm
Nothing
even
much.
looking for an internship, and you have it. You are an achiever, girl.
This one, like she has so many achievements, but still she says like
Yeah,
she haven't done
yeah.
anything. But still great to have you here. I'm sorry for the. So let's talk about the session now. So would you like to tell us about Google Generation Scholarship? What is it and how it started and what are the basic requirement for it? So, Pornabrita.
Yes, so Generation Google Scholarship, it was like previously it was Women Technic. This year it is like both have merged, and it's like awarded to female students. This year also it is open for everybody. Female students are encouraged to apply, but it's open for everybody. So it's awarded on based on the students academic performance, leadership skills, and her or his commitment to diversity, inclusion, and equity. So these are the the basic requirements are only like that person has to be in like sophomore year. That's it. And if she or she is in any college uh, pursuing like computer science or any related degree in any college, then like they can apply on.
Yeah.
So, anything would you like to add, Monalika?
Yeah, it was actually even also known as Anita Bog Memorial Scholarship before, like last 2 years before. And the main purpose of this program is like to for all those students who are excelling in technology and are great leaders in their field. So it is to recognize them and encourage them for the same. And this program is open to all students who meet all the minimum qualifications, as Panabrita said. And yeah, another thing is you should have a strong academic record along with your sophomore year, and you should exemplify leadership and demonstrate passion for being involved in community. That's the main eligibility criteria.
Okay, so moving on to our next questions. That is, students here and I are dying to know about your journey in planning, preparing strategy for Generation Google Scholarship. So please share some insights with us.
So yeah, you go first,
Yeah,
Panav.
No,
but
like
I
any of
can,
you can go first.
Yeah,
yeah, I can, Monalika can take up this question.
it's like we actually did not prepare specifically for this scholarship. For me, it was like I just went with the flow. Whatever comes your way, just do it in the best manner. That's it. Even if you're applying for it, if you're filling the form, so you are being asked some questions. You are asked essay questions. You are asked to give your resume, your transcript. So whatever you are giving it, do it at your best level, and I'm sure you will have great results. So first stage is application, and then they ask you for a Google online challenge. So even when I was applying, I was not expecting at all that I'll get selected. And I guess that's the same case with everyone when they apply for some opportunity. So don't focus on one, rather work overall on yourself and you will have it all. That's it.
You?
Yeah, actually, I thought I won't even get the link for the online challenge. So I just applied for it and I forgot about it. I didn't even think I'll get the link, and then I got the link. Then also I didn't prepare anything. I was just doing my normal stuff like daily lead coding and all, practicing DSA stuff and all, and some development works. That's all. And then I appeared for the challenge also without any preparation. And then suddenly one day I got the mail that I am selected for the interview round as well. So that was it. We didn't have any specific preparation for the scholarship.
Okay. So what are the phases involved in the application process?
Okay, so as I said, there are three general major phases. Number one is you will be applying through the portal. So in that application phase, you are asked two essay questions, your resume, your transcript, and some general background information. And we will be focusing on each part one by one specifically, but I'm just going through the phases. Second is you are given a Google online challenge where you were asked to complete two mini challenges. Both our challenges have different things to be asked. One is regarding logical reasoning, your GACT, right, general cognitive ability, and another is regarding computer fundamentals, C++, and data structures, those type of questions. And after you complete all this, what actually happened last year was everyone who filled the form got the mail for the online challenge. What I believe isn't so. Like this happened, and after that Google online challenge, they did shortlisting part. So after the challenge, you receive the mail for an online video conversation, and that's the last step. And that's actually the worth it step. You actually feel that you are going to have a conversation with a Googler, and that's actually this is what I wanted. Scholarship milna, that's at the end, but you are achieving that stage. That's great.
Okay. So, Purnamita, would you like to add something?
Um, Only regarding that online challenge part, there's two things like those online challenges. There is no negative marking, and also like there are two parts, and you can't just skip one part and go to another part and come back to the first part again. Like you have to complete the first part, and then go to the second part. And also the time is less, so the speed and accuracy, like that is what matters the most.
Okay. So, how strong are the CGPA requirements? As Monalika previously said, that you have to be good with your academics, like strong academic background. So, how much the CGPA requirements matter?
See, I won't say that those who have less CGPA shouldn't apply.
No,
Everyone should apply, but
yeah.
see, everyone who has till now got this scholarship are above 9 plus
Okay.
CGPA.
Yeah.
So it is preferred that you maintain your CGPA because it any other opportunities, not just this one, it many other even further internships or while placements, you are asked to maintain some criteria of CGPA. So here as well, they prefer in the eligibility criteria that the person should be in strong academic background, right? So ninth CGPA is preferred, but everyone should apply.
So, like, what are the requirements? Like, the basic requirement for the
There's
CGPA.
there's no like specific
They have not mentioned.
requirement for the CGPA, but it's better if you have like your CGPA more than 9, because
Okay.
otherwise it's like your CGPA is where your academic performance is getting reflected. So it's like better to have a good CGPA.
Okay. So, since you said that resume is a very important part, it basically portrays who you are professionally. So, how to prepare a better resume, like a kind of one which would be impactful and catchy.
I would like for Navita to go first for this one.
Okay, so it's like some generic kind of suggestions, like your resume should not be more than one page, like you should limit yourself within one page. And also, like, don't create your resume in Google Doc or something like that. Like, I've seen people who create some resume into Google Doc, or some like they create resume out of LinkedIn profile and all. So there, like, use one proper template and like a proper structure. Otherwise, what happens is you can't fit all the information about you in the resume, and you just miss a lot of information. And as the resume and essays, these things play a great role in the whole selection process. So you need to like pay attention to your resume as well. So, like, divide your resume in few parts, like education on the top, and then you have your technical projects, or then languages, like which languages you use for coding, and then technical proficiency, and then your awards or achievements or extracurriculars, whatever is there. Like that, go like that, and like mention the projects, and like use bullet points and some like generic suggestions like this. Nothing like other than that.
So,
Yeah,
Monalika,
I would
can
like
you?
to add to this. If you are having a good great CGPA, do highlight it because this is what they're asking. And on the other side, as this is something regarding DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, do mention those works where where you have volunteered or where you have been showing your leadership skills. So when I had my interview, what I felt was the interviewer was having my resume on the front of him, like while asking me questions. So he was going through my resume and he was asking each part, like part wise, what are your technical interests, and then I had to speak all about what is there in my resume. So don't fake at all because you might have to explain what you have done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do mention 2 to 3 projects. Technical would be great, but if it's not technical, then non-technical would also be great. Do mention the impact in numbers. Highlight facts and figures. That's the major thing which gets highlighted, and like it makes your resume more catchy.
Okay.
I'd
So,
like to add one more point is like when you are writing about your technical projects, to mention like the very first project would be like the major project, and something like I had one project which was a web development project related to like women in technology, like about the opportunities of for available for women in technology. So like if you have some kind of project in that particular theme, or maybe some major projects, keep it on the top, and then you have your minor projects after that, like design your resume in that way.
Yeah, as we say that design your resume according to the opportunity you're applying for. So herein focus more on, I would say, volunteering, leadership, and your technical skills.
okay. So, what kind of roles do non-academic things or co-curriculars and extracurriculars mentioned on a resume play? Like, what impact does it have on the application? How much, up to how much extent can it, make your application stand out?
I think Monalika is the right person to answer this one.
Yeah, because I feel, being very honest, like when I used to do society work or community work in my college, I used to be the one in my first year who was there in every community in my college. So people used to ask me, like, why are you doing this? Why are you wasting your time, or why don't you study? And what is the reason behind this? So it's like I used to enjoy being in communities, and at the end when I got this GGS, I actually felt recognized for being, committing or being volunteering. Whatever I did in my past, it helped me a lot. So in my interviewer as well, in the interview part on the video conversation, it was all focused around my volunteering, my leadership, and how I have been. What are my thoughts and what are my beliefs on women in tech or any minority in tech, and how we can overcome that, or what are your solutions to the problems. So if you are having some, that's great, that's amazing, because you have something to showcase. You are selling yourself towards whenever you are writing an essay or you're sending your resume, you're selling yourself, right? So you have some samples to show. And if you do not have, then also don't worry, do apply. Even if you have at least one, you should know how to put it forward. Even one would work, right? So non-academic things are important because they are looking for leaders, and academic performance is totally different from this part, right? So that is important.
Panaruta, anything to add?
No, I think she covered everything up.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. Since you said good projects are important, so what kind of project should it be? Like, could it be non-technical as well? And if it is like some community project or something like that, so like how can someone include it in their resume?
My projects were all technical projects. I think Monalika had some non-technical projects. Is it right,
No,
Monalika?
my projects, the listed projects in the project heading under my resume were all technical. But during the interview, he did ask me, like, what have you done, as in according to leadership. So that even if you are organizing an event, if you organize a fest in your college or any such thing, that is also a project. So you can depict it as a project, not in the resume, but during the conversation. So it could be non-technical, it could be non-technical, but that column should be filled. It should not be empty. So if you don't have a technical, then do mention non-technical as well.
Okay. If we talk about technical projects, then should all of the projects be belong to one particular domain? Like, how would it affect the chances of getting selected at a later stage? What kind of projects would you recommend?
There's nothing like that. Those projects can be from various domains. Like I am personally interested in machine learning and artificial intelligence. So, like most of my projects were related to ML somehow, and few of my projects were related to web development. But it's not like if you have some project from related to a particular field, there's more chance of getting selected. They don't matter that much, I feel.
Yeah, it could be anything. Mine were all related to web development. I had not even tried with ML and deep learning. So mine were all related to WebD, and they just want to know your technical interest. So whatever it is, you can mention.
Okay. So, um, next question. Coming to the part of the application procedure part, essays. So, what kind of questions are being asked in essays? Like, what they want to know, what they ask.
Actually, this year I've checked the questions. So the one question is similar to the last year. They are asking about what are the problems faced by women in technology, and how you see yourself as a solution to it, or how much impact you can create once you are selected as a scholar, or even now, what have you done for this cause. So this was one question. Another was regarding last year. It was regarding leadership. How you have shown leadership in any or anything related to your life. It could be an incident, anything. You can even share a project or where you have led. So it was regarding leadership last year, but this time they're asking if you get selected as a scholar, then how it is going to impact your education and how it is going to impact the community you are in. So the question is staged this time. So in this way also they are asking your leadership. They want to know your leadership skills and how you would be impacting. These are the two questions asked.
Panaruta?
Yeah, just like if you have to write answer for any essay, just like divide it in a few parts. Like the word limit is say 400, then divide it in four parts. For the first question, there is something like the problems faced by women in technology. So you can divide it in four parts. Like the first part goes like what are the problems in general that women face in technology. In the second part, you can write about the problems that you have personally faced as a woman in technology. Or maybe you have seen someone face the problem as a woman in technology. In the third part, you can write like what are the solution you think that can be like uh, like that can be used for this. And in the fourth part, you can write like if work that you think is a solution in a smaller scale maybe, but is a solution. If you have done any kind of work, then you can just highlight that in the last part, like this.
Okay. So, and there's a word limit to the essays as well, right? 400 words.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you should stick to it.
Yeah.
It might be changed. Like I haven't checked the word
i
limit
i
this year.
I think 100 only.
Okay. So, how much do you think essays affect the dynamics of getting selected?
They are
I
really important. They are the major thing which they
Yeah,
want to
I
know.
think.
And they see whatever you're writing in the essay, that is being cross-checked with your resume. And whatever you're writing in the resume will be cross-checked with your conversation. So all three are interlinked. And
Okay.
I believe what happened last year, as I saw it, as I told, that everyone got the link. So they did not shortlist anyone during the first stage. Once the Google application, Google Online Challenge was done, then they shortlisted people based on their essays plus the challenge. So for if some essays are same, like as Purnapita also, we discussed regarding this. So they might check your Google score, challenge score. So essays are really, really important in that case because they depict everything, like your thoughts and whatever you are going to, pursue or what you will be doing after being a scholar. So they are really important.
So, like, one should put a very much thought into writing
Yeah,
essays.
that's
Like, take
the
your time with the
most
essay procedure, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Uh, like even if you score like a bit less in the online challenge round, then also if your essays are really unique or really like stands out, then you will just get an opportunity to like interview with a Googler, I think, Monalika.
Yeah, even this year, as they are allowing anyone, not just females. So this is not just for women. We need to focus in this part as well. So all the boys over here, you all do apply to as well. So it's do not feel like if the question is women in tech, they are asking about the challenges faced by women in tech. But you also know girls around you. You know how they are, adjusting with the women in tech environment. They are really yes. Even in my college, there are just 7 girls out of a class of 70 students. So even boys know what problems we do face. So do depict your own, be very personal, be just write on your own personal stories, be unique because your own personal stories will not be anyone else, right? So this is what makes your essays more unique and do check out for grammatical errors. And I would not say that it is not necessary to write in very fancy words or very high English level words. It is not at all required. You just be simple but correct. Whatever you are writing should be correct. And yeah, reread your essays number of times because uh, the, as you read your essays a number of times, you get to notice that where have you missed or where you're not able to depict the point or convey the point which you wanted to, right? Or if you have missed something. So reread your essays, get them reviewed by your family, your friends, or even past scholars. That's important.
So, basically, essays are one of the most important deciding factors for your application to get selected, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, one should put their thought during their essay writing, like for the
Yeah.
application.
Like what I used to do is like after writing any like essay answer, I used to keep it for 1 day or 2 days, and after keeping it for some time, then I used to go through it again, and then I used to find like maybe some at some places I felt like adding some more information or changing few places. So like that you can review your essays by yourself also, like instead of getting it reviewed by past scholars, you can
Yeah.
just keep it and get reviewed by yourself.
Yeah,
That
another
is
major
also.
point I would like to add here is even if you're getting it reviewed by someone and someone adds their own ideas to yours, okay? So do not get deflected from your own path. Do not get
Yeah,
deflected
that
from
is
your own
important.
ideas, what you have written, your own thoughts, because this is what defines you, and you're not writing for them. So do not get deflected from your own ideas. Write what you mean and what you are. If you are being asked, if in the conversation the person asking, you should be able to strongly hold on your thoughts.
So, like, all those people who write essays just before the deadline, they should be aware this time. They should put their.
Not actually. You won't believe. I actually filled the application the last day within 2 hours. So It is not at all actually like you need to give very much time. It depends on you, right? It is you. I better work under pressure. I'm not a person who, just go with the flow. But you have time. You are attending this session. I did not even attend a single session about GGS. Being very honest, I'm like I was not at all expecting that
Me
I'll get
too.
selected. I just whatever I do it at the best level. So it was that. I
Okay.
did apply in the last 2 hours. So, but I regret if I would have got more time. I would have done the same. What I'm asking you to do.
Okay. So better not leave any
Because
chance for regrets.
smiling, she's like, "This is an irony."
But that day the website was down or something like that
Yeah, yeah,
happened, right?
yeah.
So she is really lucky that like she got to
Yeah,
apply
what happened,
the
right?
last
It
moment.
30th March or 31st March, and everyone who was new, even I had some friends who would just start with the application, and we always believe यार Google है हमारा तो होगा नहीं तो भर के भी क्या करना है. We had that mentality कि क्या ही होगा, but it was like चलो भर देते हैं बातों बातों में. So it was like during the dinner time, I had already started with the application, so my portal was working. I had just filled my name and college name. So for me the website was working, but for those who had to start, it was not working for them. Newcomers were not allowed. Even during the deadline period, it was not allowed. So try to fill it before December, I would say. Keep that 10 days gap for such problems or getting it reviewed. So do it on time. तब मैं भी बहुत डर गई थी कि अब क्या होगा. But in the next day, even after the deadline, they opened the website for a few hours and we were able to recheck what we have submitted.
Okay. So like moving on to the next question. Um, what are your thoughts about bragging and underestimating yourself while writing essay answers? Like how does it affect the success rate? The bragging and underestimating both parts.
I think there's nothing called bragging. It has got a new name, personal
Personal
branding. Like
branding.
it's important to brag about yourself. Otherwise, how would they know? Like how would they know what have you done?
You are
I
selling
think
yourself,
the
in
the
short.
problem is underestimating. You don't write enough information about yourself in the essays. You don't add enough information about your achievements in the resume. So that is the problem. So for that, you can just what I said, prepare the essays and keep your resume ready, and then get reviewed by someone. Even get reviewed by yourself. That also works. But like go through it once more or twice. Like that is really important, I think.
Yeah, I would like to add to this, like personal branding, as we said. So it is they are asking you if you have leadership skills. They are asking you if you are, you if you go through the eligibility criteria, then you have to prove yourself that you are the perfect candidate for this. So whenever you are applying for something, that is not at all bragging. It is just do not over those things. Do not do that because you get to know this when the people. That's why they are going to have your interview. They
Yeah,
will check
exactly.
if
That's what I
that's
was talking
true.
about. Like if
Yeah,
someone
that's
writes some stuff which they are not very sure about, or like they haven't done, so like how are they going to handle
yeah,
it during the
exactly. So
interview
they
part?
will check you, and they are very experienced at it. Do not think that they won't be able to catch you, right? So do be natural, but yes, you have to sell yourself. So do it in the perfect body language and confidence. We say we do not go with a we do not go undressed when we go for some interview. So here as well, we do not have to be underestimating. We have to
Yeah,
be perfect
exactly.
on our level.
So one should be aware
I
of
think
their capabilities, right?
Yeah, and I think like everyone should be honest in their like while writing their essays and resume, because otherwise in the interview round you may get exposed.
Yeah, exactly. So, coming to the next round of challenges, what kind of challenge we should expect in next round? What type and level of questions they ask in it? The online
Um,
round, like
I
if
had
they'll
already.
have this year.
Yeah, they will have it.
Yeah,
Most probably they'll have it because they are going to use something to shortlist people. We don't know if they bring some changes in the format, but yeah, the last year it was too many challenges as I told before. First was regarding aptitude or logical reasoning, whatever we had been doing since class 10th. It's pretty normal, not very high. I would say the questions were easy. And next level was DSA, CC++. So the questions were like, what is the output for this one? And the all format was MCQ. So do not worry. We do not have negative marking, so do try all the questions. Do not miss any. I would say the hard level is if there are questions, for example, 30 questions, then out of 30, there might be 3 to 4 questions that are very hard, which you might not be able to solve. But rest of the questions are easier, and medium level are also less in number. So it's doable. It's not very hard. And if it's hard for you, it's hard for everyone. So do not think in that way. Just try your best.
Also, there won't be like for us, there wasn't any advanced data structure. Like basic data structures are like important. You need to have a strong idea about the basic data structures, like trees, strings, and all. Like tree graphs and all these things. You should have a like you should have some idea about all the data structures so that you can solve them very fast in the DSA section. And the reasoning and aptitude section, that section you don't need preparation for that one. I think that is something very like normal. We have attempted 1,000 of like tests like that, so I think that
Yeah,
is you
and
don't
even
need any specific preparation for that.
yeah, Panarprita, as mentioned before, you need to be very quick because there, I remember there were approx 30 questions in 25 minutes. कुछ ऐसा था. The number of questions were more than the minutes. So you have to be very quick
Yeah,
while answering.
yeah.
And accurate as per se.
Yeah, right.
There's marking, but you need to be accurate to like actually score good.
So, what to practice for the online challenge? I mean, important
We do.
resources where we can prepare for the challenge part if someone wants to.
I actually, being very honest, did not prefer any resources. It was very prompt. Like I just did sit for the exam, and yes, they do provide some sample papers, so you can just go through them and see the level. If you think you need practice, you can go to it. Even as Purnamrita said, we were not expecting that we would be getting the test link, so we did not prepare anything. Got the test link a day before, and we had to give it by weekend. I guess we had only 2 days time to complete it, so we did not get any time to prepare. But you have it if you are going to prepare.
So, want with anything?
No, I was just doing daily lead coding and normal stuffs like that. I didn't prepare for the test because we didn't get time. Also, we had normal classes at that time, like online classes only, but normal classes. So it's like I didn't have any time and I appeared without any preparation. So I thought I won't be selected for the interview also.
But you got the scholarship. So, what
Yeah,
level of questions, like the reasoning part? So, do they ask very high level reasoning questions, or like are they very basic level reasoning questions? One will be easily able to solve them on the first go.
Not very basic, but I think they are not difficult. Like
Okay.
yeah.
medium
Actually,
things, I think so.
I really don't remember the question as दी है जिसमें रिजेक्शंस भी बहुत सारी आई हैं बट बहुत रिजेक्शंस आती है अभी भी डेली रिजेक्शन मेल्स आ रहे होते हैं इसमें बस हो गया जैसे भी सो इट्स लाइक if it's you have to apply ना you have to just do your best तो अगर easy है do it and नहीं है तो फिर तुक्का तो मार ही दो because negative marking नहीं है. So
Yeah.
if aptitude preparation is nothing you need to prepare right now, you will gradually, get to it when you keep giving your test like this. But yeah, do prepare for some C++ data structures if you haven't yet. I was even a beginner. Even I am a beginner right now. I'm not very pro with DSA. I'm learning. So keep learning.
She is being modest.
Oh, seriously. नहीं.
Also, like if you code in Python or Java, like any other language, do brush up your C++ things because you won't be getting your coding questions in any other languages. Only these two languages.
Yeah, they were no coding
Also,
questions. They were no coding questions.
like
They were how.
MCQ questions, like
Yeah,
those coding blocks won't be in any other languages. So
yeah.
you need to know the syntax and all.
Okay. So, like
So
C,
go
C++
with
is a must for it.
yeah, do revise
Yeah.
STL. They do ask such things.
Okay. So, what are the further steps involved, or if we missed any?
No, we have covered
I
like we
think
have the video conversation next if you complete the Google's online challenge and that's the best part. You have got till there and that's the last stage. But yeah, you have to perform really well because many people did got that opportunity but did not get selected as a scholar. So as I
yeah.
said, whatever you have mentioned in the essay should resemble with what you present in the interview. And this time the timeline is changed. Like they are just giving you 15 minutes conversation. So So I don't know how many questions they would be asking, but yeah, it would be around to cross check you what you have mentioned in the application.
So, what do they basically look for in a person, in a candidate, when they interview them? Like, do what on what grounds they are basically shortlisting or selecting people?
uh, yeah, they are like four major points which I actually analyzed while writing articles, while taking these sessions. I actually went back to my journey and revised what happened. So the very first was your technical interest. Are you really a techie person? Are you really interested in technology? Another is, so that is, this is how you depict this, that you are interested, that you have done some projects, you have done some contributions. So this is how you show that you are a techie person. So this is what they ask in the interview. Next is, are you a community person? Are you someone who love to contribute, or have you done some past contributions or volunteering work? So they do check your volunteering and your leadership. And if you are a leader, that is shown through your personality while you sit for an interview. So they might not ask you directly, but they might notice. So this is leadership, volunteering, and last comes your body language and your confidence in yourself, and what are the problems faced in women's life you actually relate with, or you see yourself as a solution. Do you have something really? Some people, they did ask that what is the solution according to you. So if is your solution really unique, or are you just doing it for the sake of the interview? So are you actually following with it? So these are some points, and at the end you get a chance to ask them a question as well. So that is the best part. You can get to know how they are working at Google and what they are currently working at. Anything which you are interested in.
Pranapita?
So I think all they do is they check whether we are really honest because they already know the most of it through the essays and like they already have a resume. So it's like you need to prepare yourself a little bit so that whenever the interview being held, you don't go blank. You have like you should be able to talk about each and every of your like each and every project for few minutes, like 1 to 2 minutes. You should be able to explain the tech stack and the basic idea what you did in the project contribution. Also, if you had something like leadership, if you like did your leadership skills anywhere, like you are a part of any club, society, or anything like that, like you can talk about them in the like during the interview with the interviewer. Nothing more
Yeah,
than
it's
that.
like just prepare your resume. Whatever you are mentioning in the resume, prepare at least 2 minutes each for each of the activity in your resume, because they might ask anything. In my interview, like in the conversation, I was really talkative. I had a lot to say. So there it was like you should not miss your point. So do have a practice session, or just write down your points, what you're going to speak. This helps a lot.
Basically, they're looking for promising young people, huh?
Yeah.
So this year they open the application for boys as well, guys as well. So do
Yeah,
you think
this
there'll
year
be
they
any
will.
changes? Like since there were girls before only, so they were looking for women who were in leadership, like who are into community roles, and they are very motivated about community and technical problems related to women. So what do you think? Like will be the change this year?
See, there are two thoughts to this. Like what I have in my mind is, number one is they are improving diversity. So they might prefer women, they are encouraging women, but on the same side, they are looking for people. They could be of any gender, anything, who are committed to the same, who want to make this change for women. So you have two purpose. They were either be looking women who are really strong in this thing, and they would be looking for even male students who want to solve this problem, who have this proper solutions to this cause. So anyone who is with, do not feel that you might not get selected, but you will be selected if you are very unique and very strong in your beliefs. So get your to them, and they will surely select you if they feel that you are actually going to solve this problem.
Okay. So so what should one do about the anxiety they feel during test and the result gap or during the interview? Like what did you do?
I felt a little bit of anxiety before the interview only. Otherwise, I didn't even think about the whole procedure or anything. because I was having something in my mind that I won't get selected for anything. So I was like very chill, and I didn't have any anxiety thing or like that. I think will have something to
Yeah, it
share.
was my first proper interview, and that interview directly within Googler. So I was anxious about it, but yeah, they are very cool people. They just make you so comfortable talking to them that you don't even feel that you're having an interview. They'll make you so friendly and they're so polite, and you will love talking to them. But after the interview, you will feel so happy that you're done with it. You have done the whole procedure. It's all worth it. The whole process is worth it. And इससे पहले तो कोई tension वाली बात ही नहीं है. There's nothing to worry. Just do your best, as I said. If you're doing your best at whatever you do, you will be, fine, whatever the result comes out.
So the point is that you have to be like keep your keep your calm and just be talk during the interview, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you have to be talkative.
They will make you talk.
yeah,
They will make you talk. They are
yeah.
they have such characteristics. They make you talk and they make you feel calm. I was also anxious. I was also worried at the first, but then he was like, "Yeah, go on. I'm listening. Please speak more." He was like, "Continue whatever you are doing," and they will not even interrupt. They will not even cross check. They will just notice what you are. I mean, what's there inside you. They are going to know that.
My interviewer actually spent one or two whole minutes for making me like comfortable with him so that I can talk. Like
Nice.
like he actually took time for
He
that.
actually asked me not to tell him sir. Like he asked me to take his name. He don't even want me to call him sir. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
that thing is everywhere, right?
Would you like to share some important tips to keep in mind every time, or any word of motivation and encouragement to young cadets here?
Yeah,
Mm,
but Navrita, would you like to go first?
Both of you have to go for this. I'm not leaving a
Okay.
choice here.
So
like apply for it and then apply for other things as well. So if your resume is really unique, you'll get selected anyway, so don't worry much. And even if you're like you feel like your CGPA is less, or maybe your coding skills are not good enough, then also you apply. The worst thing that can happen is rejection, nothing other than that. So just apply for it anyway.
okay, I would like to first give you motivation for it. We haven't talked about the perks and benefits. So I'll just list them out and you will feel nahi ab ye to karna hai. See,
Yeah, exactly.
number one is you will get 1,000 US dollar in Indian rupees. It's around 75,000. So you will get that amount. You can spend them anywhere on your laptop or on your tuition fees. Second is you will get some amazing swags. If you would have checked out LinkedIn, they are amazing. Actually, amazing. You'll get some Nest Mini and there's a lot of things. Like they are in the package. There's a bottle. There's a diary. There's a pen. So you get some swags. Next is they give you a fully sponsored trip to their headquarters. If this happens offline this year, we were very unlucky at this. We got it virtually, so it got
Get
missed.
it?
That's the worst part of this journey. That's all. And but yeah, even virtually, it was amazing. The 3 day session was actually 2 days. I guess 2 days retreat
Yeah,
session
two
was
days.
amazing. We actually got to connect with each other. We get to know how the Googlers work while organizing an event. We have seen organizing events ourselves in our India, like how we do it, but there they do it actually in a different level. So you get to go there. You will be getting to fly to the headquarters. That too free of cost. Another thing is you will be given some great resources like something to study, some videos to follow for interview and how to prepare for interviews. They give you some that kind of material. And last and most important is I got to meet Pranabita. I got a community of scholars. So there are approximately 70 scholars, 75 scholars. We are all connected through WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and Telegram groups. And we can, just help each other whenever required. We are there to support, not just in case of GGS, but any other further opportunity that comes, we are there to support each other. So that's the lovely part. So first of all, this motivation is there. Do apply. Worst thing can happen is rejection, and this is not the end. Na? There are numerous other opportunities. As I told you, TANX भी है, GHC है. There are numerous other scholarships available there. Even for men, even for male students, there are a lot of opportunities. So this way, if you get selected, you do not have nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. There's only to gain. So just give at least a day to your application, I would say. एक दिन से ज़्यादा नहीं लगेगा. And then you just have to, revise your things, give it and give it a shot. You will get selected. Our wishes are with you. That's it.
And also one thing is I got to like meet professionals as well. So that is something that was new to me. I didn't talk like before that. I didn't talk to any Googler. Like they like I didn't think that they would be that friendly, and I can just ask about anything. Like I can talk about anything. So that is something new. Also, like I started meeting like more people. I met these techies there, so it's like my connections are getting improved, so that is the main thing, I think.
Yeah, and when you enter a community of people similar to you or even more greater than you, like of a greater level than you, of a higher level than you, then you imagine that you have done nothing yet. There's so much to do. So that's another level of motivation that you get through your community, and you just keep growing in that direction. That's it.
So, okay, so like I'm over with my question. Now we'll take the audience question here. So we're open to the audience question. So the first question is, for applying scholarship, what about technical skills?
Yeah, as
uh,
we said, like you just need basic DSA, you need basic C++ concepts, and that you're good to go. Like you can even do this within a week if you try to stick with it. You can revise and go with it. Do apply.
Want to prepare you? Like anything to add?
Nothing like C and C++, basic TSA and reasoning and aptitude. Those things are like very much basic things. You are doing it since like uh, I don't know, since you were in school, so you don't need to prepare specifically for them. Only the basic TSA thing. If you have like some basic idea about the data structures, like trees, graphs, and all, then you're good to go.
How was your experience with the sessions you attended as part of the scholarship?
They were amazing. They
Yeah,
were actually amazing. Like that is supposed to be amazing because they are all Googlers, and we did some cool stuff because we couldn't like meet in like we
first,
couldn't go to the headquarters, so they tried to make it as much interesting like as much interesting as possible. So that is really amazing, but I think we are not allowed to share much information. They didn't even allow us to share these things on
screenshot.
LinkedIn. Like everything is supposed to be kept
But it was
confidential.
really interactive. Like you will get your confidence boosted if you attend those sessions. You would have to speak one or more line, and if you actually before this is even second or third time I'm taking a session this way. But you really get boosted up once you join in a community and you get to speak in front of hundred of people, that too from different countries, different regions. So that's amazing. So you get to know their lifestyle, you get to know a lot of things. That's amazing, actually.
Also, I like the live coding sessions the most. We need like we had one live coding session with a Googler, if you remember, Monalika. I
Yeah.
think I like that
I'm
part
just
the
not
most.
naming the things we did because I guess we do not disclose this.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, there were a lot of things. Like we could even share our personal interest. Like if you're a Harry Potter head, if you're a Potterhead, you can share that. We were a lot of things were there to relate with each other among the community. So we got to know about other people. That's amazing. But it could have been more wonderful if we got the chance to visit there. That too free of course. That would have been amazing. But you have the chance this year, so why not have it?
Okay, so the last question. How long application process? So we kind of discussed it, but if you could just summarize in 2 lines it
If you
again.
want to know it in terms of months, so it got started in the application phase was there in March. We had all March to apply. Like you have got November and mid December to apply. Then we got the Google mail within 2 weeks. Not more than 2 weeks were taken to send them the links for Google challenge. After the challenge, they took another 2 weeks to send you mails for the video conversation. So it would almost take 2 months to get sorted. And by the end of 2 months, like I got we got mails on May 31st. So it
Yeah.
started on March, April, May. It got over in 3 months.
So I guess we are done with the questions. That was all from the public. So they have few essays to review, I guess. which is up to you guys only. So
Yeah, we actually promised them to review few essays. I think.
Yeah, I would say just I guess Vivali is asking that I recommend that you draft them as soon as you can. We would suggest do it maximum by November end, and then we will have
Yeah.
at least 10 days in our hand. I'll try to review as much as possible. Yeah, you can share.
so we are done here. Like that was an amazing session with you guys. Thank you for your time. Like
Yeah,
you
thank you
shared
for
some like
having us.
beautiful
Thank you so
insights.
much, Vibali. Thank you so much, Sweta, and for
Thank you.
Navrata for calling me here. It was
Yeah.
lovely interacting with you guys.
Had a
Thank you,
great time.
Sweta. Thank you, Monalika, for like having the time, and thank you, Vivali.